Call the Westfield, Washington Township Advisory Plan Commission to order for April 6th, 2020. Will the staff please note the presence of quorum?
Ms. Berkman? Mr. Graham?
Virtually present.
Mr. Horkay?
Same, virtually present.
Mr. Johns? Dr. Kelleher? Mr. Maui?
Yes, I'm here.
Mr. McCarty? Mr. Schmitz? Ms. Spoljaric?
I'm here.
Okay, I'm going to go back through the people I didn't get, and please make sure you unmute your microphone before you speak. Ms. Berkman? Mr. Johns? Dr. Kelleher?
Here.
Mr. McCarty? Okay, we do have a quorum, but are missing 3 members right now.
All right, for the record, when we go through and ask for comments, I will not be asking Berkman, McCarty. Who's the other one missing? Johns?
Johns, correct.
Very good. All right, if the staff would, the next item up is approval of minutes from March 2nd, 2020. Having had opportunity to review those minutes, are there any additions, corrections, or comments? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion.
This is Andre. I make a motion to approve the minutes from March 2nd, 2020.
Second.
And that was who? Who seconded?
Cindy Spoljaric gave the second.
Very good. I have a motion made by Mr. Maui, seconded by Ms. Spoljaric to approve the minutes of March 2nd, 2020 as written. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. The rules and procedures are slightly different this evening because of this being a virtual type meeting. If the staff would please review the rules and procedures for tonight's meeting.
Yes, and I just received word that Mr. McCarty is present but having technical difficulties, so I just want to let him know when you do get things figured out, just announce yourself and we'll consider you present at that time. So for tonight's meeting, due to the COVID-19 emergency as declared by the Governor of Indiana, the format and conduct of the meeting has been modified to comply with executive orders regarding the conduct of public meetings, public hearings, and public gatherings. Relevant portions of the Indiana Open Door Law have been amended or suspended during the pendency of this emergency. So for our general procedures this evening, all petitions will have the following structure. The department will summarize the petition and describe what action, if any, is necessary to be taken by the Plan Commission. The petitioner will then be given time to present to the Plan Commission. The president of the commission will call on each member to provide comments, questions, or concerns regarding the petition. The petitioner will then have a chance to respond to comments. If a member of the public has any comments regarding a petition, they should be emailed to planners@westfield.in.gov with the petition name or number included in the subject line. Those comments will then be forwarded on to Plan Commission members as well as the petitioner. A few additional comments for Plan Commission members and petitioners. Please have your email accessible during the meeting so you can read new comments as they are received. And also please mute your microphone when you are not speaking. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Howard. Next item up is consent agenda containing 2 items. 2003-DDP-03 Newpro Containers and 1910-DDP-21 Meyer. I'll entertain a motion at this time.
Horkay moves to approve the consent agenda.
Kelleher will second.
I have a motion made by Mr. Horkay, seconded by Dr. Kelleher to approve the consent agenda. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to our next item of business. 2003-SPP-03 and 2003-ODP-03, Claiborne Farms by Del Webb.
Good evening, Commission. For the record, I'm John Dorsey with the Community Development Department. Before you for your adoption consideration this evening is the Claiborne Farms primary plat and overall development plan. This project is located north and adjacent of 146th Street, west and adjacent of Town Road, and approximate 257 acres in size. This is for a total of 490 single-family residential homes in an active senior community in the Claiborne Farms Planned Unit Development Zoning District. At your March 2nd meeting, this petition received a public hearing, and since that time, the petitioner has made adjustments to the plan to best address concerns and comments of staff, the Technical Advisory Committee, and the Commission. Again, this item is up for your adoption consideration this evening. The petitioner and the representatives are with us this evening, but don't plan on making a presentation. They are available to address any questions you may have as our staff. Thank you.
Jonathan?
Hold on for a minute, please.
Mhm.
So per the rules and procedures for this evening, I will call on each Plan Commission member. So the person I start with first, I'll go to the end. The person I end with, I will start on the next one. And the first commissioner with any questions or comments would be Dr. Kelleher.
I only have one comment. I believe that Jonathan has a document that they sent to us on their, they are committing to do a particular type of lighting. Jonathan, do you want to talk about that?
Commissioners, you should just find an email that I've sent to you. It has details on the lighting for Claiborne Farms. It is a Sanibel LED from Duke Energy. I believe the petitioner can speak more on its full design.
Thank you, Jonathan. This is John Dobashewitz. Can you hear me?
Yes.
The lighting fixture that's being described is the Sanibel type of light fixture. It's approved by Duke Energy and is the same type of lighting fixture that's in Harmony today. It was requested of us to utilize a fixture that was fully shielded, downward directed. Some of the Acorn type of lighting fixtures didn't meet that desire, but the Pulte Group is intending to, not intending, but committing to use that Sanibel lighting fixture within this development.
This is Kelleher again. I think that's wonderful, and I have nothing else to say.
Very good. Thank you. We'll move on to Mr. Burke. Any questions or comments this time?
Parkey has no questions or comments.
Moving on to Mr. Malley. Any questions or comments at this time?
No questions or comments. Thank you.
Moving on to Mr. McCarty, if he is able to have audio here. Any questions or comments? Mr. Schmitz, any questions or comments? Mr. Schmitz? Last call, Mr. Schmitz. Ms. Poljarek, questions or comments?
None at this time.
Very good. That's everyone who is in attendance virtually this evening on the Plan Commission. So if there is no further discussion, I would entertain a motion at this time.
Randy, this is Zager. Can
Yes,
you hear
sir.
me? Is it possible the staff could just go through the roll call? It seems that if people are here, the unanimous needs to be at least the proper number, and we're not sure who's really here and who's voting.
Very good. Okay.
Do you want me to do that now or during the vote?
Just during the vote.
Okay. And I just received a message that Victor has no questions or comments.
Very good. And I would entertain a motion at this time.
I will make a motion to approve this project. I don't have the numbers in front of me. This is Kelleher. Yes, to approve 2003-SPP-03 and 2003-ODP-03 with staff's recommendations and the commitment to the particular type of light.
This is Andre. I second the motion.
Motion made by Dr. Kelleher, seconded by Mr. Maui to approve 2003-SPP-03, 2003-ODP-03, Claiborne Farms by Del Webb, with the staff's condition of approve the primary plat and overall, with the condition that all necessary approvals be obtained from the Westfield Public Works Department and Hamilton County surveyors prior to the issuance of an improvement location permit, and with Dr. Kelleher's addition of the commitment of the Sanibel lighting. Will you call the roll, please?
Mr. Graham?
Yes.
Mr. Horkay?
Yes.
Mr. Johns? Dr. Kelleher?
Yes.
Mr. Maui?
Yes.
Mr. McCarty? Mr. Schmitz? Ms. Boljeric?
Yes.
Ms. Berkman? Okay, motion carries 5-0.
Pam, this is Kristen Berkman, and I've joined the meeting.
Okay. Were you here for the did you just now join, or were you in for the Claiborne Farms petition?
I was in from Dr. Kelleher asking about the lighting.
Okay. Do you want to vote on this petition?
That's okay. I don't need to, but I'll vote on the next one just because I came in late on that.
Okay. Thank you.
But I am present. Thank you.
Okay.
This is John Dobashewitz. Thanks everyone for your time this evening. Stay safe.
Thank you very much. Stay safe.
Thank you. Moving forward, the two additional business items this evening both require a public hearing. The first of which being 2004-SPP-04, 2004-ODP-04, Hallworth Business Park.
Good evening, Planning Commission. For the record, Dane Crabtree with the Community Development Department. Before you this evening is the overall development plan and primary plat for the property that comprises the Hayworth Business Park PUD, approximately 37.63 acres at the southeast corner of 169th Street and Oak Ridge Road. This item is scheduled for a public hearing this evening. The department has received no comments. As the plans are not yet compliant with the applicable standards, there is no request for a vote this evening. Adam D. Hart of Keeler Webb Associates is present to give a brief message about the project, after which I will be available for questions if there are any of staff, and Mr. D. Hart will be available for questions on behalf of the petitioner. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. This is Adam D. Hart with Keeler Webb Associates. Can everybody hear me?
Yep.
And do I need to request control to look at the particular item on the screen?
No, Adam, this is Kevin. You'll just have to direct me to which sheet you want us to look at.
Oh, okay. Let's start out with the primary plat, please. There we go. As Dane said, well, first of all, Keeler Webb Associates, our offices are located at 486 Great Hole Drive, Carmel, Indiana, 46032. I'm working with Mike Wilcox, who is the owner-operator of Wilcox Development. This particular piece of property has been in the Wilcox Hayworth family owned and operated for the agricultural farm there for many, many years. Mike has a direct connection with this property, and he wants to ensure that it's developed in a quality manner. Mr. Jim Kent with Design and Construction is also a construction manager on this project. Jim was involved in the next door South Park Business Center and South Oak PUD industrial complex. Quite a lot of this future development we intend to have developed in a similar manner in an enclosed industrial park. We are submitting this primary plat. Page 1 here represents the north half of the property. Can I have page 2, Kevin? Page 2 is the southern half of the property. Our regional detention pond will be down in the common area on the bottom right-hand side, and our first lot to be developed will be down in the southwest corner. It'll be just over 4 acres. We're requesting approval for this primary plat so that we can set aside the common area, dedicate right-of-way along Oak Ridge Road and 169th Street, dedicate right-of-way for our new road, Hayworth Drive, that will interconnect both of the existing streets, and provide utility easements throughout the subdivision for the development of the park. There are 2 other large blocks that are left over at this particular time for future development. That future development will come through on a separate cases. The other item that we're requesting approval of this evening is our overall development plan. As we proceed through our process here on both the primary plat and overall development plan, if we could take a look at 2 pages down from there, Kevin, please. I believe it's C 2.1 and 2.2. There we go. Along the north side of the project, we have a little bit of a change. There's an existing path that Mr. Wilcox has worked with the city of Westfield, and there's also an existing easement on that north end that he's already dedicated to Duke to work out power lines in the area with the Duke transformer station, which is cut out of our northwest corner of our property. One item of note that we're working on with staff is the tree preservation easement, which wraps around the existing Duke Energy site. Mr. Wilcox was interested in maintaining that existing tree line, and we plan to put a landscape berm south and east of that existing tree line to maintain a good buffer between the new buildings and the substation. As Dane said, we had a handful of comments that we've are working on with staff regarding easements, labeling of the location of the property at the southeast corner. Our plans completely comply with the previously approved PUD as far as all the bulk restrictions that were identified in the PUD. That includes the architectural overlay zone, which we're showing on the plat. And we are also working with staff to show the reflection of what the future landscaping would look like along both 169th Street and Oak Ridge Road. We have made a submittal to staff, but staff nor us are prepared to finalize that. We're hoping that staff can take a look at this before the next Plan Commission meeting on the landscaping and internal sidewalks also that we represented and added to the plan. With that, I'd be available for anybody's questions or comments, and I appreciate everybody's review of this process today. And again, we're requesting our initial Plan Commission review of the primary plat and the overall development plan.
This item does require a public hearing this evening. I'll open the public hearing at 7:19 p.m.
There's still no
open for Brent. we have any emails that have came in on this? Any comments?
There are no public comments received by, just one is, nope. One email just came through, but is not related to this. So no public comments before the public hearing nor during.
All right, I'll close the public hearing at 7:20. And I will call through the commissioners. Ms. Bolgeric, do you have any questions, comments for the petitioner or staff this time?
I kind of do. This is more to do with the internal road that is what Hayworth Drive, I think, from the plan. And I know that the development to the south has a stub and potentially looking to now vacate that and develop it. And so there would not be an internal connection between these two projects, correct? Can anyone tell me how that's going to work?
Yes, ma'am. This is Adam Dehart again. Can you remind me which commissioner this is asking the question, please?
It's Cindy Spoljaric.
Thank you, ma'am. To answer your question, over the course of time, that stub street to the south has evolved. It was as it evolved from the south to the north. Mr. Wilcox was never interested in making a connection there. When we first took a look at the PUD to keep flexibility in the design and development of the site and the industrial projects that we thought may come along, we did show it as an optional connection. Again, Mr. Wilcox still is not interested in making that connection. As it works out with the way we've developed our detention pond in the southeast corner and with the sale of the property in the southwest corner, which is the remainder of the property, there's no need for a connector street in that area with the people that are planning to buy this lot 1 and the development of the site. Therefore, we just elected to go with the L-shaped connector road only between Oak Ridge Road and 169th Street. And yes, ma'am, you are correct. There is a separate petition under a separate petitioner for the Duramark site that is requesting that the city council vacate that right-of-way that was set out, but there was the road was never installed. Additional city improvements were never installed, with the exception of a curb cut that is in that existing right-of-way that is only a curb cut and access to the Duramark property. That's all I have on that.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it.
Mr. Schmitz, any questions or comments? Mr. McCarty, any questions or comments?
I do not. I am glad to finally be here. Sorry about that.
Mr. Maui, any questions or comments?
No questions or comments.
Mr. Horke, questions or comments?
My only question had to deal with the road, what Commissioner Spoljaric already asked about. I have nothing further.
Ms. Berkman, questions or comments?
No, I'm fine. Thank you.
Dr. Kelleher, questions or comments?
Nothing.
Very good. Thank you.
This Mike Johns. I don't have any questions or comments either.
Let the record show that Mr. Johns joined the meeting, to my knowledge, at 7:24. I had you down as not present, so.
Okay,
all right.
I am finally here.
Okay. All right, for our final item this evening of business, 2004-SPP-05, 2004-ODP-05, Poplar Street Townhomes. This item does require a public hearing.
Thank you and good evening again, Commission. This is John Dorsey with the Community Development Department. Before you for public hearing is the Poplar Street Townhomes Primary Plat and Overall Development Plan. This project is located on the northwest corner of Park Street and Poplar Street and the southwest corner of Jersey Street and Poplar Street. This project totals approximately 1.25 acres and is allowing 24 townhome dwellings in the Poplar Street Townhomes Plan Unit Development Zoning District. Prior to this meeting, staff has received a single public comment, which has been provided to you in the public comments exhibit. We've been checking progressively throughout tonight for any further public comments and have not received any so far. Petitioner Roger Foster and his team do not plan on making a presentation this evening, but they will remain available to questions should there be any, as will staff. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Dorsey. This item does require a public hearing this evening. Open the public hearing at 7:26 p.m. Anything coming in?
Staff still has not received any further comments.
Hearing none, I will close the public hearing at 7:27 p.m. Dr. Kelleher, do you have any questions or comments for staff or the petitioner at this time?
I don't have any questions at this time, other than Jonathan might want to explain the one public comment that we had. I believe that the plan we have before us is the same as the original one. There have been no changes in it. And I believe that the concern is where the alley comes out, and I think staff has looked at that and thought that that would not be a problem. Am I correct, Jonathan?
At this time, you are correct. The main concerns, as we saw it in that public comment, were primarily related to what should have been addressed during the zoning stages of this project. Staff doesn't find that the alleyway, nor has Public Works expressed any concerns in the alleyway's placement in any way negatively affecting the homes in the area or future uses.
Thank you.
Ms. Berkman?
Randy, I apologize for this, but I wasn't here when this went through the first time. So, Jonathan, do you just mind, I know it was something to do with this alley. Did he perceive that that was changing directions from his public comment? Can you just give me like a 30-second what happened prior to this and what raised his concern?
Certainly. This was not necessarily a comment that we had heard prior to any sort of zoning. I don't believe the alleyway really came up in any other way than the future vacation of the horizontal alleyway that passes through the site. It seems that this commenter's primary concern is how this alleyway exit, as it will be used in the future, is going to affect the marketability of this location that he owns. Just in the way that the alleyway is being used currently, we would probably see it used very similarly still in the future. I believe the petitioner probably could speak on the kind of traffic levels they might be expecting coming from this site, but I don't believe it would cause any more commotion in that particular alleyway than, say, on Poplar Street.
Okay, thank you.
So I'm clear, and I'm sorry, Ms. Berkman, but I've heard you say it a couple of times. The public comment concern was something that would have been addressed during the zoning, and it's not appropriate to be addressed whether it is an issue or not at this point. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm sorry, Ms. Berkman. Did you have anything else?
No, but thank you for that clarification too. That's very helpful. I'm good. Thank you.
Mr. Horke, questions or comments?
Jorge has no questions or comments.
Mr. Johns, any questions or comments on this?
No, I don't. Looks good.
Mr. Maui?
No questions or comments. Thank you.
Mr. McCarty, questions or comments?
No questions or comments. Thank you.
Mr. Schmitz, any questions or comments? Mr. Schmitz? Ms. Spoljaric, questions or comments?
No, not at this time.
All right, well, that concludes the business of our first ever virtual Westfield APC meeting. Does staff have anything before we close?
No, nothing additional. Thank you guys for bearing with us on this new adventure. So good job, everybody. I think we'll be doing at least a few more of these in our near future. So thanks for your participation and your patience, and stay well.
Thank you, Mr. Scott. And with that, I will make a motion to adjourn. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made by Randall Graham, seconded by Mr. Horkey to adjourn. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Meeting adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.